welcome back to the workshop. Now today we are going to be installing a dust extraction system in the workshop. So I'll take you guys through everything that we're going to do. Now I'm trying to come up with the most cost effective solution to do this with, and there's pros and cons to what I'm going to use here, but I've looked at multiple systems, multiple kits. I looked at buying all the parts individually. I looked at the Axminster kit. They do a pretty comprehensive kit. And this is the cheapest solution. So with the Axminster kit, you get roughly 8 or 9 meters worth of piping, but you still have to buy all the flexible hose attachments, all the reducers, all that kind of stuff. At least with this kit, I have about 16 meters of piping for a lot less money, and I still have to buy the flexible hoses, the reducers, and all that stuff. So what I went and got was 4-inch waste pipe or 4-inch soil pipe, whatever you want to call it, plus all the different attachments. So we have Y's and 45-degree bends, no 90-degree bends, because any place we put a 90-degree bend, we will slow down airflow. So we want the least amount of bends possible. So we're going to build it out of waste pipe, 4-inch waste pipe. We have all the attachments here. We have all the brackets. I have a bit of duct tape. The only thing is, with using this, it doesn't fit your blast gates or your flexible pipes. I'll show you that now in a second. There is a slight difference in the diameter, so you have to try and marry up different surfaces. Anytime you save on materials, it's going to cost you more in labour, so you'll pay for it somewhere. But this is the cheapest way of doing it, and we should get most of the shop kitted out. We won't get the shop entirely finished to the level I want to get it finished, but we'll have a good system in place by the time we're finished. So like I say, I have the waste pipe here. I went to the builders providers. In the current situation, it's like doing a drug deal. You ring up, order your stuff, you go to the gate, you don't meet anybody, you pick up your stuff. So yeah, it's nice and safe, and you don't come in contact with anybody. So I was able to get the stuff. Other than that, I wouldn't go and get it, but you know yourself. So let's take you through what I've got, and I'll show you the issues we're going to run into if you go with this option, and we'll start mounting it up on the wall. Let's do it. Okay, let's have a quick look at what I got. So I got 4 lengths of 4-inch pipe. So they're 4-meter lengths. So that's 16 meters in total we have. I have 5 Y pieces. I have 6 45-degree bends, and I have a few couplers, and I have a bunch of brackets. So I got all this kit for in around the €200 mark. So it's about €40 cheaper than buying the Axminster kit. And like I say, I have twice the distance covered. So that's why I went with it. Now, I still have to buy the blast gates. I have to buy the flexible hoses to go onto each of the machines. So when I add it all up, it still works out a little bit cheaper, but I have a greater distance. So it's not much of a saving. So just bear that in mind. Check out your prices wherever you can get your gear. This will get you the furthest for the cheapest, but you're gonna have to put a little bit more labor, like I say, to marry up everything. And so take your 4-inch flexible hose and a 4-inch attachment. So as you can see, your quick couple won't go over your 4-inch pipe, but it will go into it. It fits in there nicely. So the diameter is actually a little bit less. So your waste pipe, this stuff is actually slightly bigger than what your dust extraction stuff will come with. So your quick couple will go inside your pipe, no problem. But your pipes won't go onto your 4-inch dust extraction stuff. It's pretty loose. So you can either seal it on with some sealer, some silicone sealer, or duct tape it on. And the blast gates are the same diameter as this, so I'll have to find some way of marrying the blast gates to this. Again, it'll either be duct tape, or we'll just use some silicone sealer just to get a good seal. It's not a big issue, but yeah, you're not going to get the same kind of seal. So you have to put a little bit more work into the seal, but the materials are cheaper. So that's why I went with it. Now, the rest of the gear will be here tomorrow, so this will be the first part of the video. It'll all be one video for you guys, but we'll get all this up on the wall. I want to go across my machines here. I want to go up and over the workshop and across over to my miter saw. So yeah, let's get on it. It's nice and simple, so there's not much to this. So let's do it. Okay, this is where I'm going to start, right at my planar thickness saw, and this is where my dust extractor is going to sit. So I just have my laser set up, so I have a line down along the wall. It won't come out on camera, but it's there. So I have that just to the height of where my pipe exits my dust extractor, and that'll give me my height for my pipe all the way along. So we want to keep as straight a line as possible into this machine as we can, and that's why I'm using all these Y couplers and not T couplers. So this will be where I come off for my planar thickness saw. So you want a nice straight line. If you came off on a T, you'd have that right angle bend to get round. That reduces the airflow, so Y couplers are the best way to go. So that's what we'll have here. So we'll start with this piece. We'll have a small piece of 4-inch pipe here that I can quick couple between the two of these with. And then we'll take another small little piece here that we can put another bit of flexible hose on up to this guy that can go between here. And then we'll continue on down. So we want one for I want to stop off to my lathe, one to my bandsaw. We're going to leave an open end for later so we can go onto the pillar drill. I'll just block that off for now. And then we're going to go up and over the workshop. So let's get on it. Okay, I'm gonna make up our first piece. So I just want to leave a bit sticking out so I can get my quick couple on for my dust extractor, and then we'll have another quick couple on top for the planer thicknesser. And we need 2 inches inside our pipe, or 50 mil, and then I'm going to leave 4 inches stick out. So total of 150 mil or 6 inches, nice and simple. Right there. Now if you have a grinder with a cutting disc, it'll make it a little bit easier. If you don't worry about it. Hacksaw will fly through this. Just try and keep your cut as straight as you can. It doesn't have to be too straight, because once it's inside that seal, it's sealed. Just like that. I'll get another one of those. Okay, these things can be a little bit awkward to fit, and they can take a bit of persuasion to get them in. So just if you're cutting with a grinder, just run your grinder around the lip and just put a chamfer around the edge, just like that. If you don't have a grinder, just get your foil and just foil over that edge. It'll just help it go in. Bit of wash up liquid then is ideal for lubrication. That should be plenty, we don't have to go too mad. So we just want to stick him in there. And just hammer him home. Just like that. Nice and simple. And that is a good seal, airtight seal in there, so that's the advantage of using these pieces. Okay, that is the first 3 pieces on. Now, a bit of wash up liquid makes all the difference in the world. So a little bit of spray bottle like that with a bit of water, a bit of wash up liquid will save you a lot of time and hassle. Also, a thing to remember is to get all your angles right. So this one is going to go to my planer thicknesser. This one here is going to go up to my lathe, and then this one is going to come out horizontal to my bandsaw. So get all those angles right, because once you hammer these things on, they do not want to twist. So you can't adjust them afterwards. You can, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of force. You don't want to risk breaking anything. So set your angles and then tap it all together. So yeah, I'll continue on now with this, and we get ready to go up the wall. I'll screw this to the wall. I have my laser line there, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just plug and play, really. So let's get on it. Okay, this is where I'm at. So we have our first piece in for our planer thicknesser. I'm just going to quick couple between my dust extractor and the end here. We have another one here now for my lathe. We have our offshoot for the bandsaw. And now we're going to come up here, up and over. So we have a Y fitting here into a 45-degree fitting, and we're heading up over the wall. I'm also going to continue on out here for my pillar drill and my dust extraction for my sanders. This is just going to get blocked off for now, so because I haven't enough materials to do all that end of things. So this will be a system that we'll be adding to over the next little while. So I'm going to put another blast gate here somewhere, I reckon, and because I want to shut off this whole section of pipe when it's not been used. So there's no point in pulling air from that whole section of pipe. So I'm going to put a blast gate there. That's going to be going over to my miter saw and my router table. So yeah, that's where we're at. Nice and simple. Again, if you have someone to give you a hand with this, I recommend you get someone to give you a hand with it. It's kind of a 2-person job. But yeah, and it's unbelievably hot here today. It's typical Ireland. Try and do some work, it's roasting hot. You light a barbecue, it'll start raining. Guaranteed. But yeah, that's where we're at. So nice and simple. Bang everything together. Definitely get yourself a little bit of wash up liquid in a bottle with a spray. It'll make your life so much easier. And it's just literally plug and play. So up and over we go. Okay, so this is where we're at now. We're heading across the roof section. I'm just going to cable tie this up, so I have some strong cable ties. It's going to be as simple as that, just to take it up and across. That will be perfectly strong. I'm not going to put up brackets, there's no point. Black cable ties will be better, but I don't have black cable ties now and I can't get them at the minute, so white cable ties will have to do. And I'm tied to this cross section here, the steel cross section, so that should help dissipate some of the static. As I say, this whole frame is earthed and bonded, so that should help with that. I've had the 45 here, that's as close as I can get that 45 in, with another 45 here, so you can see we have some wasted space up here, but I wasn't putting anything up there anyway, so it should be okay. There's not really an issue there, but that's what we have to go with. The alternative would be put a piece of flexi pipe between here and here, but you can lose some airflow in that flexi pipe. So, and it's expensive. It is expensive. It's something like 12, 14 euros a meter for that flexible stuff. So this is like 14 or 12 euros for a 4 meter length. So you can see the difference. It's a quarter of the price. So we're going to go with this guy. So I need to repeat this over here now, just to take me down to my miter saw, and we're almost there. Then we can start with our earthing and bonding of this. So I'm going to leave a gap here because I'm going to have a blast gate to shut off this whole section of pipe. It's going to sit right here, and that's a nice height to work it at. So we won't put that section in. We'll do that tomorrow when the rest of the gear arrives. So let's crack on. Okay guys, most of the pipe work is in now, so I'm stopped over here. So we have one for the miter saw, one for the router table. This will be getting blocked off for now because I don't have enough attachments to finish the job. So I'm just leaving for future expansion. So yeah, like I say, router table, miter saw will be there. Then we are up overhead, cable tied across and down the other side. So that gap right in front of us there, that's going to be for our blast gate. And we are down here over this side is out to the pillar drill, and hopefully I can get to my spindle sander and other sanders that direction. Out here then we are for the bandsaw. This is going to be for the hood that's going to go over the lathe, and then down here is the planer thicknesser and our dust extractor. So there we go. Fairly simple, nice and easy, how together in a couple of hours. Definitely if you have someone with you, it would be a lot faster, but it's just plug and play, cut and suit to the measurements, and yeah, just plug it all together. So it's a nice, cheap alternative option. Well, I won't say cheap, but it is cheaper than the standard one now. So I'm going to get on with the earthing and bonding now. Okay guys, this is day 2 of this dust extraction system. So my box of attachments has arrived. I'll take you through that now in a second, and we get fitting that to the pipework. But first, I just want to spend a bit of time on this earthing, bonding, static removal thing. Let's go have a look. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about this earthing and bonding. Now, I put a video up on Instagram and I got a bit of a response from the woodworking guys that follow me, and they were saying thanks for clearing this up. So I had no idea this was such a hot topic or a controversial issue amongst the woodworking community. So I'm going to clear up a few things for you guys now, and this might be the most beneficial part of this whole video. So removing static from PVC pipes, why we want to do it. Obviously we can get an explosive atmosphere inside in this pipe. The right mixture of air and fuel and a spark could ignite the whole thing, and you get that explosion. It has happened in a factory not too far from me, where they make most of the world's, or a large portion of the world's plywood and OSB products. It's made not too far from where I live, and they've had 2 explosions. Now the chances of this happening inside your workshop are pretty slim. To build the correct fuel to air mixture and to have that spark all happen at the same time is going to be an unbelievably rare event, but it can happen. But this is what I want to discuss about PVC. PVC pipe is an insulator, and things that are insulators that are non-conductive can still hold a charge. That's just important to remember. I'm not going to get into the science behind it, just remember that. So you can build a static charge on your PVC pipe. Now the fact that it's an insulator, they use it on electrical cables. So PVC coats electrical cables. So you can touch the PVC and not get a shock. You are insulated from the copper on the inside, from the electricity on the inside. So that being said, putting a copper wire on the outside of your pipe is doing nothing for the static on the inside of your pipe. So I see a lot of guys in a lot of videos now are wrapping the outside of your pipes thinking that's going to do anything. It's not going to do diddly for your inside of your pipe, okay? So, because it's an insulator. Now, the wire itself is not actually doing a whole lot inside in your pipe, if I'm honest, because it will only remove static from the parts of the pipe that it's touching. Because PVC is non-conductive, it's touching this part of the pipe
and running down, but static on this side of the pipe, it's not going to do anything for it because it's non-conductive. It can't actually remove that static. So it's doing very little anyway, but you're hedging your bets. You're hoping that it's going to remove enough static so that there's not enough of a charge to cause an arc and to cause that explosion, to ignite that fuel and air mixture that you have inside in your pipe. So I hope that's cleared a few things up for you. Keep your copper wire on the inside of your pipe. Remember, it's only going to remove static from the parts of the pipe it's actually touching. So you still will get a static shock from the outside of your pipe. If I can rub this here now, and I have static all there. I can feel it on the hairs of my arm, even though I have a copper wire earthed and it's inside this pipe. So because it's non-conductive, it's not going to do anything from the static from the outside. So that should clear it up for you guys. Hopefully that's ends that controversy, and don't want to see anybody wrapping the outside of their pipe to take static away from the inside of their pipe. It's not going to do diddly for you. If you really wanted to solve this situation and be 100% safe, you would need to put in metal pipe work. Metal pipe work is completely conductive. You could earth at both ends, so long as you check for continuity throughout your whole pipe work, and you would have your static issue taken care of then. So metal pipe work is a better way to go, but it's expensive. So we're hedging our bets by putting that copper wire inside in our pipe. We're hoping it's going to do the job, even though it's technically not going to do the job. And you will find all this information out. Listen to gas workers, anybody who works with gas and PVC pipe. They have major issues when it comes to working on that PVC pipe, because obviously natural gas inside in a pipe is an explosive atmosphere. In order for them to go near or work on that pipe, a lot of times they have to earth themselves, they have to stand on earth mats, they have to earth all their tools before they even touch the pipe in case static is built up on the pipe. So it's a real problem. To solve the solution, they have to put tape all over the pipe. So cover the pipe in tape, cover it in water, remove all the static off it. It's a big deal and it's expensive. So not a lot of people use PVC for gas. It's mostly steel pipe, gun barrel, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I've belaboured the point enough now. So keep your wire on the inside of your pipe. Let's rock on. Okay, let's get on with putting this thing together then. So all my stuff is here. So I have some blast gates. I don't have enough blast gates to completely finish this system the way I wanted, but it's something that's going to evolve over time. But we have enough of it done today so that we'll have a good operating system. So I got some clamps. I have some flexible hosing here. I have some quick couples. We have some blast gates, and I have a reducer that I'm going to use over here for my miter saw. So we're going to get all that on. Now, the issue we're going to have using PVC pipe is that, like I said already, the 100mm or 4-inch ducting stuff does not fit 4-inch 100 or 100mm PVC pipe. They're different diameters, okay? So let me see. So your blast gates are not going to go into the pipe. They're too loose, okay? Your quick couples are just about the same diameter. The rubber one will fit inside it. These are hard plastic quick couples, so that's not going to go inside in that unless I force it in there probably, and we don't want to do that. No, that's not going to fit there. So it's a slightly different diameter. So the outside of your quick couple is actually the same size as your waste pipe, but these guys are not, even though the quick couple will go on to them. So yeah, the internal diameter is different, is what I'm trying to bang on about. So this is my solution. I want everything to be modular and removable. I don't want to seal anything up in case I want to take this back apart, in case it's not going to work for me. So I have some pond underliner or liner. So this is rubber pond liner. I'm actually in the middle of fixing my little waterfall that goes into my pond outside. So I have a bunch of this left over, and I've just wrapped my blast gate, and that fits snugly now inside my pipe. So just get some rubber, wrap it around it and shove it down your pipe. You get a nice tight seal, and that's the way to solve this issue. And it's nice, clean, tidy, and does the job. So I'm going to wrap all my blast gates now, and when I have that done, I'll get back to you. Okay, there's my blast gates wrapped in the rubber. I'll be putting a flexible hose on this side of these two, so that doesn't need to be wrapped. I had to wrap both sides of this one because it's going in between two pieces of pipe. So I just wrapped it up, 2 wraps around, keep going until you get a nice tight snug fit. And with the last wrap in, I left a little flange, so I kind of folded it across the bottom so the end of the pipe will go up against that. And yeah, it's a nice snug fit now. So that's exactly what we want. So that should be relatively airtight, I'm hoping. It is a rubber seal after all, and that should let it remain modular so I can take it back apart again. So I'm not putting any silicone sealer or anything like that, because I want to be able to pull this apart again if I need to. So let's start fitting. Okay, that gets a good snug fit there, so that's happy days. So that's the one for my bandsaw. This will be for my lathe. I don't have enough blast gates, so I'm going to blank that one off for now, because it's not as important as my bandsaw and my planar thicknesser. So I have the planar thicknesser one on now, and I'm going to put one right here to close off this section of pipe going over to my miter saw. So it's a case now of get the machines back in place, measure them for their flexible hoses, get the flexible hoses on these guys, and we just need to get this one in. So let's do it. Okay, flexible hoses on. Just have a Jubilee clip around it. I just want to make sure that I got my copper wire in between the two clip parts, and then just tighten this guy home. Just like that, nice and solid. So we can cut this to measurement now. This has to go to both sides of the planar thicknesser, so it has to be long enough to reach both sides. So we're kind of in the middle here, so we should be good. Okay guys, we are getting there. Now, all the fixtures and fittings I got were made by Charnwood, the same company that makes my planar thicknesser. But the Charnwood quick couple won't actually go onto the planar thicknesser. Don't ask me why, that is just ridiculous. You have to kind of force it on and beat it on. But I need to be able to take this on and off, and it won't fit on. So I've had to use the Record Power one that came with the Record Power dust extractor. That's a rubberized one. But I had to battle for about 2 hours to try and get this onto this hose. It's a nightmare. The Record Power ones are a disaster to try and fit to the hoses. But they are rubberized and they'll go onto any fitting. So it's harder than trying to get a shoe on a toddler, trying to get this thing on. So I'm almost at my wit's end, and it's unbelievably hot here today. So there we go, that's my struggle, nothing to worry about. So just need 2 quick couples to get this onto the system, and we're almost ready to go. And again, to get these down inside that flexible hose, a bit of water with wash up liquid is your best friend. It makes the job just that much easier, because you will struggle with these things. So just like that. Bit of wash up liquid acts like a lubricator, so nice and handy. On we go. Okay, so this is how I'm attaching to my system. It's just quick couple. I have a quick couple gone inside in here, and I have a PVC pipe coupler with a rubber seal here, so this fits in there nicely and seals up, and I can pull it out whenever I need to. And I just have a quick couple onto my dust extractor. Now I may put a cyclone and a barrel here at some point, I'm not sure. It's easy when I'm beside the door just to take this barrel out and empty it, so whether I really need a cyclone or not, I don't know. I'll see how this operates, but that's how it's attaching to the system anyway, so nice and simple. So let's finish the miter saw, and we are almost there. Okay, for the miter saw then, we're coming off this 4-inch Y to the miter saw, and I'm going to use some shop vac hose. I have a couple of spare ones of these. I bought some reducers, so they'll just go up inside that. Again, I'll have to put a rubber around this guy to make them fit, and he'll just shove up in there, and that should give me a good seal. And then I'm going to duct tape these two guys together. They're the exact same diameter. I was hoping this would shove onto this, but it didn't. I also got a smaller reducer that clicks on there. You could shove that down inside that and duct tape it on, but I think I'll put 2 of them together and just duct tape them on. It should be good enough. Duct tape is good and strong, and it's a good seal. So I get some rubber on that, duct tape 2 of those together and shove it up, and that's the miter saw sorted. It's good and tight. Voila, just like that. Okay guys, we are all installed. I'm just going to go handheld now, so hold on to your stomachs. So here's our Y. This is going to be used future for the router table if it's needed. We are out to the miter saw. I'm going to put another blast gate there and there eventually. And we are up and over the top, down on this side. So there's another blast gate right here just to close off that whole section of pipe, so we're not pulling air from all the way over there. Down here then, I have this blocked off with some duct tape because I'm short a few pieces. This is going to go up and over to my pillar drill, and I'm also going to use this one then for my downdraft table, which is going to go on my workbench. So it's long enough to reach both of those. Moving along then, we are at the bandsaw, and we have a blast gate right there. Moving down here then, I have this one blocked off. It's just in there, you can't see it. I'm short a blast gate for that, but that's going to be for this funnel. This is for the lathe, so I have to just mount that up. Then we're moving on down, blast gate here, which goes into the planar thicknesser. And like I said, the charnwood fittings don't fit the charnwood planar thicknesser. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then we have our quick couple onto our machine. So everything is in, everything is sealed up, and it's ready to test. Let's give it a blast. Okay, time for the maiden voyage, and all the blast gates are closed now. So I suppose we can check for leaks, although this could build pressure. Well, we'll try it. Yeah. Okay. That's really compressing my flexi hose there, so that's good. That suggests to me that there's no air leaks anywhere. That just compressed that hose immediately, which is good, and pulled the whole dust extractor. So we're good, and everything is sealed. Our blast gates are doing their job, and our rubber seals are working. Happy days. So let's go again. Open this blast gate here. Yeah. We've got suction there, that's good. Open this one. Yeah, it's pulling dust. Excellent. So we got good pressure there. Close that guy off. Open this guy. Let's have a look at the miter saw. Nice. And it's long enough to reach my bench, so I can hoover the bench, which is handy. Yeah, I've got good suction there. Excellent. Excellent. We now have a dust extraction system in the shop. It's not complete, but it's almost complete. I was just short a few parts, but we'll get them either this week or next week, and we can finish it all off. But we have good pressure everywhere. The seals are excellent. There's no air leaks. I can't hear any, can't feel any. Good pressure at all the machines. So it works. Right guys, there we go. We now have a complete dust extraction system in the shop, and it's modular. I can take from it and I can add from it. So that's the beauty of this system. Now, what can we say about it? The pros and cons? Well, the pros, it's cheaper. It's probably the cheapest option, depending on the size of your shop. If your shop is small and you need a small system, maybe one of the kits would be a better way to go, because the saving you would have on a small system would be minimal. But on a larger system or a larger shop, the bigger the system you're going to put in, the more you will save using the soil pipe, the PVC pipe. So that's one thing. One disadvantage, obviously you can't see through it, it's not clear pipe, so if there's a blockage in it, you can't see it, you're going to have to try and locate it and find it. A good thing about it is it comes with couplers, so the ends of it are rubberized couplers, so it is an airtight system. It's designed to be airtight, obviously to stop smells coming back up through people's toilets and stuff like that, so it has to be airtight. So PVC, soil pipe, all the couplers are airtight, which is perfect. There's not a leak at any one, so that's a positive. So it's cheap and it's airtight. Can't see through it. A con, the static build-up on PVC pipe. I've been through that, you know the story. That should clear up any controversy about that. Keep the wire on the inside. Another con is you have to fit the dust extraction fittings to the PVC pipe. They're not the same diameter, but as you see, just a little bit of rubber, or even you could use some heavy-duty Scotch tape. Just tape it up, build it up, and shove it in. You get a good seal. None of those seals are leaking, so it's that simple. So it's not really an issue, I suppose, when you think about it. So yeah, there we go. Great thing about it, it's modular. You can plug and play and add to it, and it's cheaper than buying a kit. So that's all I can really say about it. All in all, I am about 400 euros into this system now. So it's expensive to put a dust extraction system in your workshop. That's just for the pipe work, the hoses and all the fittings. I have some spare Jubilee clips. I have a few spare fittings. I have a full length of pipe left over. I have brackets. I have a couple of quick couplers left, and but I'm short some blast gates. So that'll just tell you, my shop is 8 meters by 6 meters. So there you go, and you can see the machine. So I have a planar thicknesser, I have my lathe, I have my bandsaw, I have my pillar drill, and I have my miter saw connected up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines. So yeah, it's pricey, but it's worth doing. And the great thing about this is you can do it bit by bit by bit. Put your pipe in and you can add to it. I'm probably going to put another Y bracket up here at some stage so I can drop a flexi hose down onto my bench. If I want to put in some heavy duty sanding or stuff like that and I want to take it away on a 4-inch hose. So I might do that. We'll see. We'll use this system now and see how it's going to go over the next couple of months. And if we need to add to it, we can add to it. And if we need to take away from it, we can take away from it. That's the beauty of it. So there you go, guys. There's a dust extraction system installed. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been informative. It's definitely the cheaper option, not by much on a smaller system, but on a larger system it will be a lot cheaper. So there you go. I'll leave links to where I bought the fittings. They're all Charnwood fittings. I'm not, again, sponsored or affiliated by anybody. I'll just leave a link to the site that I bought these from. It is an Irish site, and you can see the prices for everything. They'll be there. So yeah, that's it. Like I say, I'm not sponsored or affiliated or paid by anybody, so take that for what it's worth. So there you go, guys. Dust extraction system is in. So it's unbelievably hot in here again today, so I'm going to get out of here now. I have a pond to fix, so that's the next job. I'll see you later. I think the pond is fixed. Nice.